Yeah, yeah. I saw that. She had some interesting factoids, interesting insights. What up, hoes? We're going live in just a few minutes. Check out the setup. Woo woo! Link in bio, babies. We're going live in just a few minutes. If you're in the chat, say hi. I'm just posting to our social needs. 10 people are watching. Okay. Why is the feed frozen? Okay, now I can see all your comments. Good morning, my loves. People are filtering into the chat. Compliments on my outfit. Thank you so much. I was telling Andrea I'm kind of channeling meeting the girls at the country club for white wine spritzers today. Also wearing sneaks. How is everybody's July 4th? Wait, did we? We streamed the day after July 4th, right? Yeah, we did. Never mind. I assume you all had a good July 4th.
Yeah, we worked all day.
Yeah, we did. We worked all day on July 5th because we're business women.
We worked all day and then I did a fucking show.
Yeah, that was crazy.
God. I heard I'm channeling, meeting the girls at the club for White Wine Spritzer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm channeling bronchitis.
Andrea's channeling bronchitis. She'll show you in just a second. Jeffrey Zimmer says I'm channeling Gloria Estefan.
Ooh.
I don't know. I don't see that. Although when I think of Gloria Estefan, I think of... Didn't Gloria Estefan wear, like, the really colorful, like, statement jewelry and statement hats and stuff? I guess that there were different eras. So, actually, an amusing Gloria Estefan related story. So when I was in high school, I was a nerd and I planned this like Halloween murder mystery dinner that we did at our school. I was like the chairman.
Yeah, you were.
And it was like, ooh.
You passed me that black.
God said, "Let there be light."
Hold on. I gotta give the people what they want. Actually.
Yeah. You can't really see it, but
That's all you're getting today.
you gotta use your imagination.
That's all I have in me.
So it was like this pre-canned story with characters and stuff, and I had to assign everybody the characters and that somebody got murdered. Whatever. You know how a murder mystery dinner works. I don't need to explain that to you, and if I do, then just don't listen for the next 3 minutes. So the one that I planned was like 70. It took place in the 70s.
Cool.
And all the characters were named after... They were inspired by real people from the 70s. So, like, there was John Revolting, who was, like, supposed to be John Travolta. You know, like, there were, like, whatever. But they all had stupid names.
Was that character a closeted gay man also?
Yes. They wrote that into the piece.
Good.
There was some butt sex on the dinner table that night.
He finally shaved his head.
John Travolta?
Yeah.
Because he was wearing a hairpiece, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it was like...
Like a
people were,
cartoonish
like, constantly making
hairpiece.
fun of it.
Yeah.
And he finally accepted that. Maybe the next step will be accepting that he's gay again. You know?
I mean, that would be nice, but, I'm not here to, like, tell somebody, like, say what somebody's sexuality is.
I am. That's
You
all
know?
I do.
Yeah.
Always here.
Okay, so what was my story? Oh, okay, so one of the characters' names was Gloria. It was after Gloria Steinem, and it was like Gloria Stunham or something. Like it was like very obviously Gloria Steinem, but Gloria Stanasta. My friend Michelle got assigned Gloria Steinem. And she thought that it was supposed to be Gloria Estefan.
That's really funny.
And she dressed up like Gloria Estefan to come to the dinner.
Wow.
And at a certain point, I like had to break it to her that that's not who she was supposed to be. And then she was like, "Oh, well, fuck it, because I fucking love Gloria Estefan." And she just kept going with it. She committed to the bit, which I really appreciated.
Do you know how Gloria Steinem broke out?
How she broke out
as a journalist.
She wrote a book.
Before that,
no,
she infiltrated the. This is such a look. She infiltrated the Playboy.
Oh yeah, she dressed up like one of the bunnies.
She was a waitress as a bunny.
Yeah.
She infiltrated, and then she like did a report on how poorly that they treated the waitresses and like. Making them work extra hours unpaid and grabbing their asses.
Being like sexually assaulting them.
Constantly.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Fuck you. I'm Gloria Steinem. I'm a hot bitch. and I'm here to give justice for the bunnies. If anything, I want justice.
Justice for the bunnies.
Justice for bunnies.
That should be a t-shirt.
Justice for the bunnies.
That would be a great t-shirt, actually.
And then Playboy bunnies just...
Like, we could make something... I'm always thinking of merch ideas and then, like, not wanting to execute them.
Yeah, because no one buys it.
Yeah, because no one buys it, but, like, would you buy Justice for the Bunnies shirts?
I would think that's one of our... It's more marketable than our Army of Kind
Way
stuff.
more marketable, and, like, I'm just thinking, like, I would buy that. If I saw a shirt that was actually cool, that said Justice for the Bunnies, and it was, like, maybe, like, a Rosie the Riveter, but, like, as a Playboy bunny.
Yeah.
Or, like, something like that.
The only problem with merch is that... God, I sound bad. Is that for shirts you want a cool, like you don't want just like a basic Hanes t-shirt. You want like a cool shirt,
like a tri-blend cotton.
Yeah, and those like you have like minimums and shit.
Totally.
And I'm telling you about manufacturing, baby.
But if I'm being honest, like. The very, very basic men's cut Hanes shirts are in now. Like, you could get away with selling those if it has a cool design.
Yeah. Justice for the bunnies.
Justice for the bunnies.
We should get Ariana to make it. Our intern, Ariana, did stand up for the first
I
time.
Actually squealed when I saw that.
Me too.
I got so excited. She posted on Instagram, like, a shot of her doing her first open mic. Yeah. And it was like, baby's first open mic!
I was like a proud mother. I was
so cute.
I was screenshotting and sending you Instagrams all night last night because I was staying in with my bronchitis. Me and my bronchitis were spending the evening together, and I was getting bored. I was on social media a lot.
I mean, I think everybody can relate to that, right? Hashtag relatable. You go on social media when you're bored, and before you know it, your screen time alert tells you that you've spent 6.5 hours on Instagram today.
Ew, I bet you. God.
I have mine set to tell me when I've spent 2 hours on Instagram for the day. And I usually...
Is that a thing?
Yes, yeah, you can set it.
I need to do that.
But
it's probably disgusting.
It doesn't, like, automatically turn it off or anything. You can still spend more time on it, but I just, like, I want to know if I've hit the 2 hour mark. I usually actually don't.
That's good. Oh,
but a few times I have.
I do it for working at Keith and the Girl, but, like, let's be real, I don't need, like, 2
but
hours.
I think most of the time it's, like, scrolling.
God.
Or, like, you have the app. You know what I mean? You go in and out of it, and you don't realize, like, how much time it actually racks up.
How gangster would it be to just delete Instagram?
I did delete Instagram.
I know. Well, we both.
I deleted Instagram for a full year, and I gotta tell you, it changes the way you look at the world.
Yeah, I know.
It really does.
We did it together, and I lasted, what, like 5 months, maybe?
Yeah, you lasted a little while.
Yeah.
But, I like, wanted to do a full year. I thought that I would do I thought that I would do a year, and then I would like it, and then keep doing it. But the problem is, like, it made a lot of things pretty inconvenient. Well, 2 things. It made some things inconvenient, like when I wanted to promote personal stuff, or even just, like, for using it for, like, fun. Those were the 2 things. Like, it was just, there were certain times, usually I didn't miss it, but there were some times where I was like, oh, it would be fun to, like, post this picture of somebody drinking out of the sewer.
Yeah, people in New York, that's a fun thing on Instagram.
Yeah, although, like, the only thing is, it's also super rude. Like, I've cut down on doing stuff like that anyway.
That's nice, I haven't.
You should. You shouldn't post pictures. I don't post pictures of people's faces.
I post pictures of people who look really angry on the subway. That's the only one that I really post regularly.
Yeah.
And drunk girls, if you're good enough.
There is good and not good drunk person material, for sure.
Drunk person. My favorite drunk girl video ever was taken in a McDonald's, my friend Chris Beatty's birthday. And she had a platform on that had 2 straps, like one around the ankle and one at the base of the foot.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow she'd completely gone off the platform, but still was like somehow partially strapped in. So the shoe was like this, and the foot was like that.
On the side.
On the side. So shoe is here, foot is off to the side, but she does so drunk she doesn't realize because she keeps trying to step on the shoe. And I was just taking a bit. She later threw up in the bathroom and got in the face of the black. There's a bouncer and the McDonald's in First Avenue.
They do. Some of them do have bouncers. Yeah,
it's like Saturday
because it's
night,
pandemonium in there,
and it's crazy.
They keep you from using the bathroom if you don't have a receipt.
Yeah,
which I like. Okay, McDonald's, like your bathroom is the gold standard.
Sure.
Like I'm sure it's fucking disgusting in there. Me using your bathroom is really gonna make it.
They
such
should
a
let the
difference.
sober person who just needs it, but the drunk girl, I'm like, I
Yeah.
know why you're not letting her use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Let her use the bathroom. She's gonna throw
No, like
up.
let her use the bath. I let people in. Attention, vendors of New York City.
Yeah.
Let people use your fucking bathrooms.
Yeah.
Because it's inhumane to expect people to live in a city where you have to walk around constantly and never be able to use the bathroom.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
I'm gonna die of a kidney disease before my 70th birthday because of you guys.
Cody Allen says Pinterest is a huge time suck.
That's hilarious,
Cody,
Cody. What does Cody's Pinterest look like?
Like knives, probably. Sometimes I creep
wood
Cody.
carvings.
Yeah, I creep Cody late at night. I think about his life with his beautiful children and out in the woods.
He posted a picture. I'm sorry, I didn't like it, Cody,
of his
because
daughter sleeping in ski goggles.
Yes. I didn't like it because it was this morning. I was doing some things on the group page, and I forgot to like it. But I will go. You know what? I'll like it right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like it right now.
Cody says knives, outdoor furniture, and harem pants. Wow, what a collective.
Harem? Do you wear harem pants, Cody?
What a collective.
I've only seen photos of you from the waist up, I think. What if he was always wearing harem pants?
He works like a serious. Is your job involving you do a lot of manual, not labor. That's not the word I'm looking for. Like using your hands and building things. Is your job involved that too?
I have a question on the subject of drunk people.
Yes.
Causing mayhem.
Yeah.
I was listening to Danny's podcast, Danny Vega.
Oh, Am I the Asshole?
Am I the Asshole?
Yeah, great pod.
It's a fun pod. He puts a lot of work into it. You guys should listen to it.
Yeah.
But he had Lucas on, Lucas Connolly, and they were talking about, somebody wrote, am I the asshole for, not mistreating, but, being snappy with my partner over when they were trying to have a serious conversation with me, but I was, wasted at the time. And Lucas's point, which I thought was, I want to hear your opinion on it, because you're also a non-drinker.
He's been sober for 14
I
years.
know. Mazel tov, Lucas.
God, Lucas. I forget Lucas was a
Well, he
homeless,
got sober when he was 18.
He was a homeless street punk.
Yeah.
With wow. Lucas is an inspiring
Lucas
person.
has lived, quite a few lives.
Mm-hmm.
And also, started getting his shit together before I would have, been drinking.
His shit was so falling apart, though.
Yeah.
Robo tripping and heroin and meth.
Heroin.
Yeah, everything. Hannah's done heroin. It's crazy that we have these friends that are fine
And have seen the darkest
have,
of the darkest shit.
She did speedballs.
That's coke, right?
It's coke. It's coke mixed with something else. I want to say heroin. Something crazy.
Yeah.
Two drugs together that kill people usually. And I'm like, you are such a badass motherfucker.
Yeah. But anyway, he was saying Lucas's point, which is probably something that he's had accepted within himself, is drugs and alcohol are never an excuse for any of your behavior. You can never blame anything you do on that. And if you're fucked up and you can't handle your drugs and it alters the way you behave, it's still 100% your fault and whatever.
Yeah.
Which I do agree with that concept, but I also think if it were me and my partner, in this particular case, it was the partner was saying something oh, I just want to tell you, I really love you, and he trying to have a serious conversation while the other person was fucked up, and so Lucas was basically saying, like, yes, you're the asshole because, like, you chose to get drunk and then you, like, dismissed this person. But in my opinion, it's like, if I've decided to be with someone who is a drinker, I think it's like there's a little bit of a difference between, like, they just had a little too much to drink and, like, can't handle a serious conversation right now, and, like, they're being an asshole and they had too much to drink. Do you know what I mean?
Sure, yeah. Because I used to do things that were not fitting of my character when I was drinking. Like, I would start fighting. Like, I remember I threw pizza at Danny Hatch. I made out with, that was
still hilarious.
It's like,
although such a waste of pizza.
Such a waste of pizza. It's funny. It's like all these antics I got up to when I was drunk. While they were really bad, they were also really funny. Yeah.
Well, the impulse control thing is already
a
problem.
So emboldened. It was crazy. So it's like...
Well, I think to your point, I think, like, when you drink, there is kind of that undertone of, like, none of this counts. Well, like, I can kind of use it as an excuse. I think you do fall into the trap of thinking that sometimes.
I think what it is that if it's such a rare occurrence... Like, say I have a partner. Okay, so my good friends Jill and Willie, you've met them.
Yes.
Wonderful people. I've only seen, and I've partied with them a lot, and they drink and party. I mean, they're like, older and chiller now, as we all are. But I partied with them so much. I used to go clubbing with them, and they always, and like, they drank and they did drugs. They were DJs. They were like party people,
living the lifestyle.
DJs.
I didn't know they were DJs.
Yeah, they had like a manager. They're the coolest people ever. But they always kept their shit together and like behaved themselves. And I've never seen them like. I've only seen Willie in like crazy inebriated one time. And it was like their engagement party or something like that, and he was just like celebrating. Yeah. And he wasn't even an asshole. I'm like, you're so drunk right now, I can't even like carry a conversation with you. So this has moved to like none of this matters because you're so it's like, I think that if you generally still behave well when you're drinking, then you do get, like, a once in a while...
A free pass. A get-out-of-jail-free card.
Like, and he wasn't rude in any... He was, like, loving. He was sweet. But it was like, oh, I'm not talking to you right now. Like, you're not present.
Yeah.
And, like, you're stumbling around. And, like, let's just write this off. I think that's a reasonable... but then there's, like... Because I would always be problematic when I was drinking. So at a certain point... I was like, well, it's not me, but it's like, well, it is you, though. Because you're choosing to get this drunk all the time.
Right.
So it's like, I think if it's a pattern, then yes, your drunk behavior then becomes your responsibility. Because you can't handle your alcohol and you're still choosing to drink.
Yeah. That makes sense to me, I think. I think, like, what I take away from it is, like, in the theme, like, keeping with the theme of Danny's, like, the question that Danny was proposing, is like, yes, you're still an asshole because, like, you made somebody feel bad that you care about.
Sure.
But it's not, like, something that can't be worked out, obviously, because, you know, if it's an isolated incident.
I also, like, when I would be mean to people when I was drinking, I would say stuff that I didn't even think in real life. You know what I mean? There's parts of your brain that, like, turn off. Like, it is you, but it's not fully you. You know what I mean? Like, I would, I don't know, we've all, like, slept with people we don't like. We've done things that, like, we don't mean. So it's like, you're not an asshole at your core, but you are an asshole for getting so drunk that you turn into this other person.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could handle, would you handle, have you ever had a partner that consistently gets, like, super drunk all the time?
Yes.
Yeah?
I mean...
Is it one that I know?
Well, what are we talking about? Like, most of the people that I've dated have been drinkers.
Right, you drink, but you keep your shit together.
Yeah,
One who was like, there were multiple occasions where you were like, okay, this is this fucking situation.
No, not to the point that, like, it bothered me.
Yeah.
There was one person that I was like, wow, you're, like, kind of fucking up your life a little bit. Like,
Ooh.
you're not living to your full potential.
Ooh.
Who?
Yeah. Oh, I know, never mind.
Yeah.
Why am I asking? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but, like, it didn't really affect me, but then again, like, we weren't that serious, so.
He used to,
He actually at one point told me that he would want to, like, be serious with me, and in exchange he would get sober.
That made me so mad.
Which is, of course it made you mad, because, like, that's a ridiculous thing to put on me, but also, like, I was like, nah, I'm good.
You were
like, I don't want it that bad. Also, I don't want to be responsible for somebody getting sober.
No, it's also, like, weirdly hanging sobriety over someone's
head. Yeah.
No, I know. It's that was some bullshit. But this person was kind of a bullshit artist.
A dork.
Yeah, he, like...
Sorry, no, not a dork. I'm trying to use that word less. He just was, like, not fully with it.
Yeah, no, well, he just, yeah. Sorry, hold on.
Not in touch with, like, what he really needed. Like, I think you can't be like, I'm going to stop drinking for somebody else because I see that I'm not good enough for lack of a better word, like, my behavior is not up to somebody's standards.
Yeah.
They don't want to be with me, so, like, I'm going to tell them that if they decide to be with me, then I'm going to stop drinking.
Bribery's never
It's bribery, yeah.
The way to start.
A better way to go about it would just to be stop drinking for yourself and then improve if you think that that's the root cause of your behavior.
Yeah.
And I'm not, like, getting too deep into it, but it wasn't anything. It wasn't anything, like, nothing abusive, nothing so horrible. Just, like, flakiness and general, like,
disorganization because here's the thing, it's like if you're drunk every night of the week, you can't do stuff. I mean, you can in your early 20s because you have that bounce back.
Yeah.
And I would be able to pull shit. Like, when I was peak drinking, I was, like, still doing well in my job, still doing stand-up. Like,
yeah.
You know, I was still, like, on the surface a pretty productive member of society.
And going, like, nonstop.
Yeah, but, like, in your 30s, I can barely do stuff and I don't drink.
Yeah.
Imagine nursing a booze problem.
No, me neither.
It's impressive.
Do we want to address an advice question?
Absolutely. Cody also said he used to be a mechanic and now he sells auto parts. Good to know. You know how cars work. Cody's on my list of if there's an uprising in the United States and we have to live.
Call Cody.
Yeah, if
we have to live in a bunker.
Yeah, call Cody.
Okay. So, I mean, I have a few good ones. We could just, like, do you want to do, like, a kind of rapid fire-esque, like, see how many we could get to?
Sure.
I just got one this morning, actually, that I think is a pretty easy question to answer.
Yes.
This is a DM that we got. Do all dudes suck at texting?
No.
Like, everyone I date is just not great at texting. Most of them have been amazing in person, but yeah, is the question. And I think we're both going to have the same answer to this question. I want to hear yours. So.
Yeah, of course men suck at texting. Communication is not men's strong suit in general, so texting is an even worse situation. It's also like, especially in the dating arena, especially if they want to keep it casual, they'll often be, like, aloof in their texting style, just to, like, not lead you on. I don't know. I rarely meet someone who's funny and fun to text with.
Oh, I see. I interpreted it. I think I interpreted the question differently.
What do you think?
I think when she says sucks at texting, I think she means they're not responding to her in, like, a timely manner and not, like, initiating texting and just like being
They're probably not that into you.
Yeah, my answer is that people who claim, I think that only maybe like 1 in 10 people are actually bad at texting, but a lot of people claim to be bad at texting as an excuse to not talk to you.
I do this. Well, I do it, here's the thing. So, I do, like, it depends. So, like, with you and my close friends, if I'm depressed or overwhelmed, I'll disappear. And that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not me being like, I don't want to talk to them. It's just like, there's so much I can't, like, I'll respond to what I feel needs to be responded to, but I won't sort of, like, go beyond. But if there's people who want to hang out with me a lot, and I don't want to hang out with them often, I will respond to them in bursts, like, once every few weeks.
Yeah.
And it's because it's like, well, then the next step is that we hang out, and I don't want to right now. It's not even like I don't like these people. It's just like there's one person.
You only have so much time in the week or hours in the day, and you don't want to hurt their feelings, but you can't actually meet in person.
Exactly, because if I text back and forth with you, then the next logical step is a meetup. And there's one friend in particular who's always like, I don't get how you are with your texting. Like, you're so erratic. And I'm like, it's because I don't want to see you all the time. It's not even, I love this person. This person's great. It's just they're not a regular roster in my life.
Yeah. And
it's also, we don't have, like, all that much to discuss. We joke around. It's like a casual friendship. So, like, what's the next? What am I being
What's
like?
the urgency?
Hey, how are you? Like, what? Who cares? And yeah, I think texting is, especially for men, since they're worse at communicating, it's a pretty good barometer of like how interested they are in having you in their life. If they're bad at texting, they're just not that interested.
Yeah, and this is like what I've found is like if you're ever worried or confused about whether they're gonna text you back, you shouldn't be texting.
Yeah.
Like because that really is the bare minimum. Like, literally all they have to do is just, like, tap their fingers on a fucking screen. So it's like, if they're not responding to your texts, you really think they're going to put any effort forth in person? Or, like, when you guys are together, like, in a potential relationship, they're not. They're just not. They don't care enough. So I don't... Like, even if they are bad at texting, it's okay for you to be like, well, I need somebody who's, like, good at texting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. And so I think, like, her asking if all men are bad at texting, maybe all the men that you've dated are bad at texting, but, like, it's okay for you to be like, nah, brah.
Yeah, they're not engaging with you.
Yeah.
When you have a little, like, thing in your brain, when you have a little inkling in your brain that's, like, worried about hearing back from someone or, like, feels like they're not going to make plans. You know when someone isn't quite that into you and you know it, and like you're like, okay, I texted them 6 hours ago. Mm-hmm. Should I send them an emoji? Or like if you're like playing,
should I do a follow up? I don't want to double text. The whole double texting thing.
Drop it.
It's a waste of your time. And I also like I know it's so much easier said than done. I've been like stuck in this trap before.
Me too.
So many times.
That's why.
But you know what it took? It took like having dated a couple people that I was
on the fence, kind of.
Well, no, it took dating a couple people that like I never wondered whether they were gonna text me back.
Yeah.
Like, and I have, you know, they may have fell to pieces in other ways,
sure,
but they never would have just like left my text. Yeah. And I would have never left their text.
Someone, past guest of the show, Usama Siddiqui. Usama's a very good. Like blanket life statement type person.
Yes. He's the modern philosopher of our time. He
really is. He's very philosophical. You know, he's a really wonderful person. And
I'm going to quote another past guest, but...
So Usama, I was like looking at my texts with an ex who I was very into.
Okay.
So in love with. And I was his bitch. You know the one.
Yes.
And I was like analyzing something. Actually, there's a really good scene. Fuck, what is it?
He's not that into you.
That one too. But you know in Big... love that book. You know Big Mouth?
Yes.
So Big Mouth has a scene where they're like you can go to never have sex place or like it's like some fantasy land,
Okay.
and it's like all these people and they're sitting at the bar and there's a woman being like, well, he texted that during this time, but then he said in person, and the guy's like, well, let's go back and read this and it's like it's like played out in a way that's so
true to life,
perfect, and it's like, oh my god, when you're in that zone, just stop.
Yeah.
But Usama, so I was doing that. I was like, well, he said this, but then in person, he kind of implied, it was just this like fucking analysis that was so.
And what did he say?
He looked at my phone and he was like, oh, you like him way more than he likes you, and I was like, why? And he was like, look at the size and frequency. He said, you're swimming in the blue. So, like...
Yes, you're drowning.
Yeah, you're drowning in the blue.
When you look at your screen and it's all blue, you're drowning.
Mm-hmm.
You're out in the ocean.
It's a bad look.
Send a life jacket. Send a lifeboat.
And even if you try to text less so you're not swimming in the blue, you're still making an effort. Like, they're just like, yeah, whatever. But you're like, okay, so I want to make my paragraph, like, smaller and, like, seem to...
And then mentally, you're spinning out of control.
Get
out of it. Get out of it right now.
Yeah.
Because, you know what it all comes down to?
What?
It all comes down to, like, these are all things that we do to avoid being vulnerable.
Yeah.
And, like...
And to stay in denial.
Because I was about to say the easiest thing. It really is the hardest thing to do. But the easiest, like, conceptually, compared to, like, guessing what somebody's thinking and trying to predict their every move is just being like, hey, I really like you. Mm-hmm. I would really like to see you. And being prepared for them to be like, I'm good.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? But
the games are to avoid the real answer.
Yeah. It's because you don't want to hear an answer that you
kind of know is going to happen, too.
You don't want to get an answer that you don't want to hear, but, like, getting that answer is... And this is why I think that men are much better with, in a lot of ways, with rejection. Yeah. Because they're used to it, because we have set this precedent of, like, men are expected to put themselves out there and potentially get rejected more.
Yeah, they ask on the date. Yeah. 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 I think that's definitely changed a lot within the last, like, 20 years.
Yeah, but it's still... I think the dynamics are still definitely there.
Yeah, sure.
So Remy Casimir, who's a friend of the show, posted this on Instagram, which is, it's not her quote, it's someone else, but I thought it was it's a lot like what we're talking about. The best piece of dating advice I've ever received is this: if they like you, you'll know, and if they don't, you'll be confused. Yeah. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. That's some fucking knowledge. Do you think Bob Dylan's Tangled Up in Blue was about being the fucking blue paragraph having all
text?
The text being blue.
Tangled up in blue.
By the way, Android users, it would be in green. Water. Green waters.
I know. You're in the swamp, baby.
You're in the swamp! Yeah. Oh, God damn it, the swamp.
Cody says dating sounds like a fucking nightmare. I mean, yeah. Communicating with human beings is difficult in any way, but yes, dating. You know, so yesterday Billy Presida was on the show with us, and he made a comment that really bugged me, and and I was like, why did this bug me so much? Because it's so ridiculous, and I think I realized why. Well, I was talking about being with Dustin again, and and Billy and I haven't, like, been in really that much communication recently, not to the point that I would be, like, sharing the details of my...
Just to catch everyone up to speed, Andrea's back with her ex, Dustin. Team Dustin. Team Dustin came out triumphant.
Yeah, he did. He rose like a phoenix from the ashes. So, he was like, Billy was like, is it open? And I was like, yeah. I was like, live in different states, like, you know, and I was like, well, it's open.
Technically, it's open.
Yeah, technically it's open. Neither of us are pursuing anything. It's more a measure of, like, for, like, if something happens casually after one of our shows or whatever. I don't know. Like, I just think it would be foolish to not have some level of openness with a long-distance relationship.
At least, like, you're open to the conversation.
Right.
If you know, you wanted to.
Both of
you have needs and, like, you live in different cities.
Exactly.
You can't visit each other constantly.
There has to be, like, enough trust there that, if him or I, more me probably, should feel the need to, like, hook up with someone, their whole relationship wouldn't be over for that reason.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Billy was like, oh, I bet you he's fucking all over town.
Which is so out of touch.
I know. And I was like, what? I was like, that's, it took me, Billy says wild shit all the time, but this one I was like, what are you talking about? And he was like, well, he's like this artsy, cool-looking guy, and
yeah, like he appeals to a certain
market. Sure, and
he's very marketable.
And he is, but
he's adorable, but
that's not him at all.
Yeah, he's not fucking all over town.
Dustin doesn't like to talk to people, much less make moves on women. Dustin didn't even know that we were on a date until we were on the train back to his apartment, and he was like, oh, I guess she wants to have sex with me. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's just who he is. But I was like, why is this getting under my skin so hard? And, one, it's rude, but,
yeah, it's like, what's your
angle on saying something
yeah,
like that
why
to
would
me?
you want to say that to someone?
I bet you he's fucking cheating on you. And I realized, because I have been in 2 open relationships now, where the person has literally had their cake and still managed to, cheat by being dishonest with me, about the hookups. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's I have been with 2 people where it was it is open, but nothing more serious, no one who's consistent in your life, or...
Well, it's open physically.
Exactly.
Not emotionally.
Exactly. And I have had 2 people who still abused that situation, and so it's, kind of triggery for me. He's
totally, and
kind of you don't ever really know anyone, and I'm like, I know that's true because I've lived that twice.
And Billy should know that.
I know.
Billy should know to be more sensitive. I thought that whole conversation was super fucking weird.
It was so weird. It stayed with me all day, not because I put any weight to oh, Billy it generally is right about things, but it was just so I'm like, why do you say these things that you say?
Yeah.
What goes through your mind?
Yeah.
And also, why are you he's such a fucking weirdo about Dustin particularly?
Yeah, why do you think that is?
I think because Billy identifies as a beta, and we were not a good match.
Yeah.
And Dustin is a beta, but we are. And Billy was, intimidated by my aggressiveness, and it doesn't seem to bother Dustin in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah, so maybe on some level it bothers him that Dustin, that you would choose somebody that outwardly seems more, feminine.
I don't get it.
Yeah, and Billy's, very open-minded about a lot of things. So
I know.
It doesn't, it seems hard to believe that would be it, but, what else could it be?
He's also weird. He's been weird around him in person, too.
Really?
I, went through the Rolodex of their interactions. I remember once, Dustin and Billy were at an open mic with me, and, there was just this weirdo competitive energy between the 2 of them.
Wow. Okay.
It's so confusing.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
But has Billy been like that around other people that you've hooked up with?
I guess Billy likes to make fun of everybody that I'm with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is he's a roasty friend.
Yeah, maybe it has more to do with the friendship dynamic.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, it just feels like you're tearing, it just feels like if I have a friend like that, it's gonna start to feel like they're tearing me down and telling me that my choices aren't good.
Yeah.
Which is okay, maybe some of my choices haven't been the best, but you don't have to try to make me feel. It was as soon as he found out that Andrea and Dustin are dating again, it was I don't know. It was he might as well have been oh, Andrea, come on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe. Well,
but it's not a bad decision. Dustin's the best person she's ever dated. He should be happy from a friendship standpoint.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't been we had we had a breakup and processed things since then. It's like, and you as my friend have like been like, you know, that we've had these conversations, and like, of course, if me and Dustin just got back together out of nowhere, that would be weird. It would be like you didn't resolve your issues,
right? So maybe did he know?
He doesn't know. So
okay,
in that way, that makes sense that he'd be like, what? But then to just be like, yeah, he's probably cheating on you. It's like, okay,
right?
I don't like. Whatever. Interesting.
Very interesting.
Rowan says Billy wants to fuck Dustin. What? A hilarious fucking. In an alternate universe, if I could watch that happen, I would 100% watch it.
Cody says you have to have Billy on again and hash it out. Billy has been on. Not only has Billy been on more than any other guest, I think he's been on twice as much as any other guest.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
He's by, in large, the most returned guest. He's just, yeah.
Let's have Billy and Dustin on.
Oh, they hate it.
Yeah.
I bet you Dustin would get, like, bitchy with him.
You think?
I told Dustin about this. And he was
you
like,
did?
Yeah, and he was like, ugh, Billy.
Oh my god, does he hate Billy?
No, he's just like, why does he say stuff like this? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't think he thinks about a lot of the stuff that he says, and that's where he gets in trouble, which I can relate to. But
Cody Allen says 4 times. This was the 5th time.
Yeah.
We just recorded with him yesterday, so
he was and we gotta go soon. He was like, how wild would that be if I just like was that character? If I was
secretly,
if I was me, and then like secretly like, hey girl.
If he was Garrett.
No.
If Dustin turned out to be Garrett.
Oh my god. You have to check me into
it's like
mental
100%
institution.
not the case.
I know.
So,
but like the thought popped into my mind, and I was like, God damn it! I already have bronchitis, Billy.
Yeah, Anne had a cancer scare.
Yeah. How much more can one person take?
Maybe he's cheating on you. It's like the number one thing not to say to Andrea.
Yeah, I know.
Andrea's like constantly
getting cheated
Andrea's dad cheated on her mom.
I know.
Like, that's all you need to know. You don't even need to know that Andrea's had, like, all of this cheating stuff. Just be sensitive.
I know. Yeah. I was like, why is this getting under my skin so hard? And I'm like, oh, because it's literally a vignette that constantly repeats itself in my life.
Uncool.
Yeah.
We're voting him off the island. What was your hot mess moment of the week? Is it related to the same thing? Is it related to your bronchitis? You know what? I'm going to let you have the floor.
I mean, I guess so. Oh, hold on. Is it still going on? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. I got a bunch of things. Okay. I mean, yeah, cancer scare. I haven't really been talking about. We've been like alluding to it a little bit on the show, and I'll make it brief because we have to go soon. But I guess so. Yes. So
should I not have said that?
No.
Oh.
I'm just trying to like be concise with it, so I don't run out of time. Basically, I have had a lump in one of my lymph nodes in my throat. There's been some sort of references to it on the show and stuff like that. And first they had like a sonogram on it to like see it, and they're like, it's probably benign, but like we need to make sure that it is, or like, should you want to pursue it further, we can do this biopsy to make sure that it's benign. Doctors were not like freaking out, being like, we have to find out immediately, but they're like, you could pursue this.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pursue it. No shit. No, I'm just gonna leave.
Ooh, I'm just like not gonna think about it. It like kind of harshes my vibe.
You know what? I wish I had a mind in which I could do that.
Right?
To be honest, what a great life I would be leading. But I've been in hell, like thinking about having cancer literally nonstop for the last several months. But I went to get this biopsy, and it was, it's like very choppy.
I'm seeing weird things happen with the stream too, but it says it's still live.
Okay.
Are people having trouble with the stream? Just let us know. We're wrapping it up soon anyway.
Oh, I think it's better because I see. Okay, I'm like looking at the.
Yeah.
It's it's just a little slow. So basically, you do this fine needle biopsy where you're awake, and like I was like awake with my like neck out, and they shove a needle in there. Crazy.
And you said they were asking you questions while they were doing it.
Yeah, it's like, hey,
like you can talk while they have a needle in your neck.
Yeah, but not a lot. They like don't laugh.
It's kind of like when they ask you questions at the dentist, and you're
Yeah.
like,
Except for they're shoving a needle in your neck. It was cool because I got my results on site, but I'm laying there. I was like, hey, listen, I have how is this still going on?
The stream is still going on.
That would be so funny if it just like timed out.
So I had a cancer.
So I was like, hey, I have medical trauma and I get anxious with procedures. I'm just letting you know in case I like seem away. And so they gave me these stress balls, which was really nice.
That's awesome.
So I have these stress balls and they're like this, and they have the needle in my neck. And the lab tech is this like really funny older lady, and they're talking while they're like looking around, like they're like live looking at my lymph node on the screen. And the lady's like, yeah, my mom had a cardiology problem, but that's what got her into the hospital. But later they did like a CT scan for it, and they found out she had lung cancer. Like, this is like me being like, I am very anxious right now.
She heard you say that too, right?
Oh, yeah. And the doctor was visibly, he like looked over at her and was like, this is not about you right now.
Oh my god. I wonder if she still has a job.
I mean,
that's pretty unprofessional.
It was crazy. Oh, it's offline.
Damn it! I'm still seeing it.
Oh, damn it. Who knows? But yeah, I mean,
Write in the chat if you can still hear us.
Let's see. We could also come back afterwards if we want to. Aw. It's Lucas's birthday.
It still says live.
Does it? Okay.
I think we should just wrap it up and...
Okay. So anyways, lying there getting biopsied with an old lady telling me about her mom's lung cancer was my
you know what? That's her best one yet.
Top that.
Yeah, that's her best one yet. Well, I actually, I don't know if I can top it, but I might be able to equal it.
Okay.
I witnessed a conversation yesterday, and by witnessed, it's not like I walked into it. It's like this conversation was started in front of me, well knowing that I was in the room.
Yeah.
Between my mother and my father about how my mother, like, forged my dad's signature and, like, racked up an insane amount of credit card debt or something. Like, old wounds, bad blood, like, something so not appropriate to talk about in front of your daughter. Just, like, casually discussed.
Oh, shit. Sorry. I got a call.
Oh, okay.
Keep going.
Okay.
Bye, guys. I love you.
Andrea scheduled a call directly after the selection. But you know what? Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. John Lennon said that. Did anybody see the movie yesterday? Because I saw it the other day, and it was so not great. The first hour was enjoyable. The premise was flimsy, but fun. But then in the second half, spoiler alert, turn this off if you are going to care if I spoil something about the movie yesterday. But the main character goes to this, like, obscure village in England somewhere, and he meets John Lennon, and John Lennon is still alive. Because in this alternate universe, John Lennon was never in the Beatles, John Lennon was never a musician, so therefore he never got shot and killed. And John Lennon had a Scottish accent. The actor that they got to play John Lennon had a Scottish accent. It was fucking weird and manipulative, and I didn't like it, and I thought it downplayed everything that happened to John Lennon, and how catastrophic that whole thing was. And I just, like, wasn't here for it. Anyway, that's pretty much it, you guys. Do we have any final thoughts? Anything that we want to share? This is, like, fucking weird that I don't really know how to handle this, but any final thoughts? Going once, going twice. I love you all. I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Keep being a mess.